what inspired you to choose USA as a study destination? Like, if we see a lot of other destinations also have plenty of good policies to attract international students, so
Yes.
why USA?
A few major things. First would be global perspective, because we all know कि US का market globally is one of the biggest markets in terms
Right.
of any major, not just CS. Second would be the value of the US dollar. It's one of the strongest currencies I believe in the world, right? Third would be the job opportunities. That connects to the first point कि like there is a market, and where there is a market there are opportunities. So these would be the reasons I primarily choose the US to study for. Plus overall lifestyle. I mean, come on, the US is called the land of opportunities and the land of dreams for a reason.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the another episode of our podcast. And today we are bringing you a real life perspective on what it's like to be an international student in the USA. And joining us today is Richik Basu, who is studying in California State University and will be sharing his experience with us. So get ready for some insightful conversation and real life experiences. Hi Richik, welcome to the show.
Hello, yeah, thanks for having me.
So can you please start with a brief introduction about yourself and your educational background?
Of course, yeah, I'll start with the formalities, right? My name's Richik. I'm a freshman. I just finished my freshman year at Cal State San Marcos. Basically, the short form for California State University San Marcos, right? My majors is under Bachelor's of Sciences in Computer Sciences, and I'm just here to share my experience as a student, ki ek saal mein what I've done and what's more to come.
And what are you pursuing?
I Bachelor's of Sciences in Computer Science.
Okay,
Yes.
and so how did you decide that this is going to be my career path?
See, I've been around computers since 2007 or 8, right? Even before my puberty hit, to be honest. So my friends have started calling me nerds and geeks and what sort of things. I don't take them personally. Computers के साथ अभी interest है तो है.
Right.
Right? I'm really good around computers. So I thought कि let's take it to another level. Let's learn कि हाँ ये जो चीज़ में interest है, what's there to learn and experience लेते हैं. And yeah, that's
Right.
just
So you
exactly.
like being like around tech and all, right?
Yes, I can stay in front of a screen for 18 hours.
That's not very healthy, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what inspired you to choose USA as a study destination? Like, if we see a lot of other destinations also have plenty of good policies to attract international students, so
Yes.
why USA?
A few major things. First would be global perspective, because we all know कि US का market globally is one of the biggest markets in terms
Right.
of any major, not just CS. Second would be the value of the US dollar. It's one of the strongest currencies I believe in the world,
True.
right? Third would be the job opportunities. That connects to the first point कि like there is a market, and where there is a market there are opportunities. So these would be the reasons I primarily choose the US to study for. Plus overall lifestyle. I mean, come on, the US is called the land of opportunities and the land of dreams for a reason, right?
That's for sure. Yeah,
yeah.
totally agree.
Right.
So, to our viewers, a lot of students, plan or maybe think or maybe dream of studying abroad, but
Right.
they don't have any clue. Like they're very
Mhm.
confused. They don't know how to start the process. So, can you tell them like what was your process? How did you started it?
I would say the step 0 would be research,
Right.
right? हमने सोच लिया we were going to the US, but where's the question, right?
Right.
I would suggest that reach out to people who can help you in those processes, but before reaching out directly, conduct a small research on your own ki like where do you want to go, what's your course, and where their course is more relevant and more like opportunistic, if that's a
Right.
word.
Right.
So yes.
So, the first step is to decide to do research
Yes.
and then decide on a country,
Yes,
and then the college and course is or is it like course and then college?
I would recommend ki like fixate on a course first and then see ki what college offers those courses, and then compare which one is the better one,
Right.
right? So for instance, I picked San Marcos amongst the other ones because the CS course there is very famous. It's one of the top in the west regional side. And secondly, I chose California in general because come on, San Francisco is right there. And everyone knows Silicon Valley and how big San Francisco and San Jose are in terms of IT firms. So yes.
Right. So, like, can you tell us some, or maybe our few viewers, like some tips on how to do the research, how to like start the research?
It's not that difficult, honestly. Nowadays AI is there.
Like there are so many things. Like you talk to alumni,
Yes.
or you talk to the faculty,
Mhm.
maybe.
First, one of the reasons can be like one of the processes would be Google.
Right.
Use the internet, right?
Right.
Ask unko. Ask your alumni. Of course, networking is something that always helps in your research, right? Ask people who have already been in those shoes. उनको पूछो उनका experience कैसा है, and what they would be recommending you personally. And then if you have any relatives there, you can ask them for their perspective. Besides that, you can always seek help from others who
Right.
are actually already in this field and they can help you. So
True.
yes.
True. So, can you share your experience while applying to the universities in USA? क्या challenges थे, क्या difficulties थी उसमें?
Experience was very overwhelming, right?
Right.
Because I'm someone who gets anxious on very small minute things. So even as small as colleges के नाम ढूंढ के उनके applications भरना was very anxietyful for me. Challenges as such would be primarily like mainly finances. कि like हाँ मैं college में apply जब कर रहा हूँ, मैं क्यों कर रहा हूँ? Like as a student, I believe a lot of kids who are watching this, they would be thinking the same thing कि like finances का क्या करना है, right? abroad education बाहर जाना तो है, like tuition fees क्या है, क्या हमसे manage होगा कि नहीं, right?
Right.
तो I would say that was a very big challenge कि like हाँ मैं जहाँ रहा हूँ, I want quality education, at the same time I want something which is very affordable.
Right.
So that's where San Marcos perfectly fits in, right? And the second would be a lot of times I've did this myself. I applied to universities, but I did not see what the city was like, right? City, I say what the city was like because safety is where it comes
Other
in,
aspects.
right? So safety wise, I can say San Marcos has no crime rate, right? It has 0%. Yeah.
That's good, yeah.
So that we don't have any gun culture. There's no homelessness. So I believe that's something which is very beneficial thing for me. So
Yeah, and while we're on the topic, I
Yes.
would like you to tell our viewers
Right.
a few steps on like how to choose the right university for yourself.
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
Amazing question, right? I would say that depends on the individual, ki like what kind of place they want to go. For me, my primary reasons were where it's very affordable to live, like to pay my tuition. And second reason, this is a very silly one, but I'm not a very winter person. So my second criteria was the place where it never snows. So
Right.
that basically eliminates the whole north and the east of the United States. And then again, IT sector. So IT sector, I did some research. California, the best. There are other states, but California is already well established in that sector too. I'm sorry. So that's where I decided कि हाँ ठीक है, let's go California and we can ignore the other states for now.
But other aspects are also important, right? But just like you mentioned, the safety,
Yes.
the accommodation part. and all sort of things.
Accommodations, transportations, how well it is for you to commute. Luckily, we like a lot of universities would have free transport, and so do we. We have free transportations. We have trains that run like almost 20 hours a day. So that's really good because I live right now off campus. I currently live off campus, but first semester I was on campus.
Right.
So my experience on both terms has been really amazing. I would recommend every student spend at least one semester on campus because then you get the gist of that diversity that I'm talking about, right? Because my whole room did not only had one American. The others were like someone was from natively Mexico, the other one was from Britain and Puerto Rico and all these countries. So it becomes really fun to bond with them, to hang out with them, and we would play FIFA every other weekend. So it was really fun and we would make memories.
So it's culturally very diverse,
Yes.
the campus life there.
Yeah, it's very diverse, and I would say there's no one specific majority in terms of ethnicities and races, which makes it very interesting.
Right.
Yes.
And more fun.
Yes.
You get to learn a lot from different cultures.
Definitely.
Actually.
I'm learning Spanish, so
That's
yeah.
so cool, yeah. So when you landed in in USA,
Yes.
what cultural differences you experienced, and how did you like cope up with them? जैसा expect किया था वैसे ही था, or was it like completely different?
Somewhere in the middle, to be
Somewhere.
honest, because I knew कि हाँ I'm going to a foreign state, expect some cultural differences. The first difference I saw was that they don't accept cash when you're booking a ride online.
Oh.
Like when you book an Uber or Ola here, they would like there's an option to pay cash, in hand cash. But in the US, we don't have that option. So it's directly deducted from your card or your bank account. That's something I realized because me and my friend, we had the trouble of getting a cab from the airport to San Marcos. Secondly, would be the terms that they use. So this is again a funny experience we had. And we went to Domino's. First of all, they don't have any seating area in Domino's, right? So we went there, we ordered a pizza, and we were like, okay, where are the chili flakes and the all those things, oregano? They said we don't serve it, so they won't give you alag se, right? They're like, we already put it in the pizza.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then the second, this is all food related because I love food. So second was that I went to McDonald's and I said, ki, ha, let's go and have a burger. I said, give me a chicken burger. And he gave me a burger and my friend stopped me from eating it. So I asked him what happened. He said, ki, the fact that the moment you say burger means that they will provide beef, that the patties will have beef in it. If you want a chicken wala burger, say chicken sandwich. It looks like a burger, but they still call it sandwich, which was quite funny and amusing, right? And
the lingos are very different.
yes, the lingo is very different. Plus, people are super nice. Like randomly, chalte firte, किसी के भी साथ you can have a very small talk. Like, hey, how's it going? How's your day so far? यहाँ पे I've noticed it myself. If you try that, the first question they'll ask is, आप हो कौन? Right. So it is something I've noticed myself. And besides that, the fact they love using paper.
They love using paper.
Papers, yeah.
Right.
So.
Love using paper as in you mean in currency or like doing paperwork?
In both. In using currency, in doing the paperwork, they're not digital yet.
Oh.
And at the same time, they will have bunch of kitchen towels and all those things made of paper, recycled paper, right? So that is something I've seen a lot.
That's so cool.
Like I said, they love toilet papers.
So while we're on the topic of differences, what differences the teaching style you experienced, like India ke teaching style mein and US ke teaching style mein?
Oh, that is something I can just keep continue talking on. There's
and
a
we are like we would love to hear all the.
For sure, there's a very big difference. Like when we talk about education in India, you can see the students will be like having classes Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Like they're having classes. In the US, it's very flexible. Even as a UG, I pick my own classes according to my schedule, right? If I'm a morning person, I can have a 6:30 a.m. class, or if I'm a lazy person, which I am, I would rather have a 6:30 p.m. class.
Right.
So my schedule right now, even this semester, it all looks mostly evening classes. So that's something I've seen. Plus the fact that attendance is not mandatory, that helps me a lot because sometimes I sleep and I miss my classes.
But it also helps you with the part-time work. Yes. If you're doing any.
Yes.
Right?
So what happens is if you're doing like I work as as a student assistant in the international admissions office. So what happens is, since it's an on-campus job, you pick your classes first and then you go and have a talk with your senior or your boss superior, and they will see your schedule and they will be like making your class schedule के हिसाब से वो timetable कि हाँ ये time पे you can work, this is suitable for you. So there's no how do you say this, there's no conflict कि हाँ अभी आप काम करो लेकिन you have classes, so but you still have to work or something. So that's adjusted accordingly.
And what about the professors? Are they friendly? I've heard there's like it's more of an interactive kind of teaching style there.
I would say the professors are super laid back and
super laid back.
Yeah, super laid back and relaxed, right? Like for instance, again a funny story. I keep saying stories. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But my history professor, I had a history class last semester. He is in the US Air Force and he has nothing else to do. He teaches MMA and all those things for part time. And this is also his second part time. He's an historian, so he has an interest in history. So he said he taught us history and everything. He said and one day randomly he was like he sent us an email. He's like, I don't feel like taking class today, so the class is off. And I was like, what? Which is quite rare if you see
use of free will.
Yeah. So which is quite rare if you see in India, because I don't think any professor would take a day off just because they're not feeling it.
Right.
So it's that. And at the same time, the professors are laid back and relaxed. When I say, I mean ki class ke andar they'll be your faculty, bahar jate hi they'll be your best of friends, right? You can ask them any doubt, any problems, whether it be academic, personal, or financial or anything. They're always there to help you.
That's
right?
very good.
So that is something which is really amazing that I've seen.
Right, really amazing.
Yeah. Which is, I believe, quite rare here in India, because for me, I am very slow learner in math. So I always have silly doubts coming up in my professor. I keep asking. And then I believe if the same were to happen in India, that would not be the case. So,
right.
Yes.
So let's talk about part-time jobs. Are you doing any kind of part-time job?
Yes, I currently work in the international admissions office as a student assistant.
Okay, and so just tell us something about that, na? How, like, what is it, and what's your experience?
So, in generality, student assistants would be someone who are usually working as a front desk employee in any department. That's the most common title that's given to a student जब भी वो कोई part time करते हैं. My job in specific, they state and require me to make sure that the student is always felt home,
Right.
because homesickness and everything is a major issue. So that is something I always intend to or try to, कि whenever a student walks in, कोई भी queries हो कुछ भी हो, I'll try my best to solve them. If I cannot in any chances, I'll always direct them to my ISA, with that is the International Student Advisor. So she's the one who for sure knows everything, right?
Okay.
So I'll try my best, and if I can, I will. If I cannot, I will transfer her. But my job, like I said, it always states to make sure they're felt home. So I
Right.
try to be as casual and as friendly, like, and as informal as I can, which is a very speciality because I'm very bad with formalities. So it makes the job easier.
So that's an on-campus job,
It
right?
is an on-campus job, yes.
So how are you managing the work-life balance and your studies as well?
I'm trying. I'm still learning because I'm not used to the things. Right. It's not tough, but at the same time, it's not easy as well.
Time management is
Yes.
important, right?
Time management, great point. Yes, something I'm not so great with.
But you learn, right?
Yes.
You learn with the time and experience.
Exactly. I'm learning. So right now, what I usually do is I work and I study from Monday through Thursday, and whatever assignments and all I have, I'll do from Friday evenings. Saturday, Sunday पे आराम से निपटा के I'm free. So that makes it easy for me. And during the exams is when it gets hectic, because सुबह आओ मतलब शाम को आओ, and then I study and everything. But it still becomes easy because, like I said, I live with a friend, and since I don't know how to cook, I don't have the burden of watching YouTube videos every now and then. So he
Oh.
knows how to cook. So he's basically the chef and I'm the dishwasher.
The perks of having a skillful role.
Exactly. So like I said, he's the chef and I just do the dishes. So it makes it easy for the both of us. So,
Right.
yes.
So can you give us our viewers a few tips on how to land a part-time job, as well as like what have you learned throughout your journey while
Mhm.
managing the work-life balance and your studies?
I would say there's just one thing, networking, right? It
Right.
helps in general anywhere,
Very important.
right? Very important. Landing a job is not tough. It's always the how part that's tough. कि like अच्छा job तो चाहिए. Everyone knows we all need a job. कि कैसे चाहिए, that's the point, right? आपको networking आनी चाहिए. And when I say आनी चाहिए, it's not something that you always possess. It's something you learn, right? Like me, initially I was this introvert kid who would rather sit room के किसी कोने पे and like not talk with anyone, or rather not choose to. But I know कि I have to step outside my comfort zone. Of course, I chose to go in the US to study, right? I cannot stay in that same comfort zone forever. So I'll share my experience. I had a talk with my ISA and I just told her ki, see, I really need a job. So is there anything you can help me, or if you know anyone who's hiring in the whole university, let me know please. She points out at the front desk and she goes like, you see that kid over there? And I knew the kid. He was a international student from Jordan and he was graduating in 2 weeks. So she goes like, you see that kid over there? He graduates in 2 weeks. Once he leaves that desk is yours. So I was like, okay, that's really amazing, but are you not going to take any interview? Because at the back of my mind, I'm used to that interview wala culture as well.
Right.
So then she goes like, no, I know you already. I don't need to take an interview. I know you better than yourself. And she's very sarcastic and uplifting. So that became easy. So I landed in the US on the 28th of December, 2023. And by 4th of February, 24, I already had a job. So I believe that was my luck.
That's so good. That's
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah. And my friend, completely irrelevant, but my friend, he had a job as a campus tour guide. He works. He had a job on the 12th by the 12th of January. So he had it earlier than me. Yes.
So are there any working hours restrictions as well?
Yes, by law you are restricted to work only 20 hours per week on campus during school hours. And if it's like a vacation time, like right now, winter break or summer break, you can work full time, 40 hours every week. Yeah, because you don't have school, so you're not worried about that.
Right.
Yes.
So we see a lot of universities out there provide academic support to international students. So what kind of academic supports your university, you got from your university?
Of course, support, everyone needs that as an international, because it's a new place, a new curriculum. We have academic advisors who would help us as an international us in general, any student, pick classes for each semester, because it's us who pick the classes. So they would help us pick the classes. At the same time, we also have our career advisors who would help us, who would guide us, basically, I would say, throughout our journey of pursuing a degree, right? Because a lot of times what happens is students are often confused.
Right.
Okay, like what major should I pick? They would be interested in software per se, but they would be taking CS. So it's the career advisor's job to like make sure that they are on the right path, of what their interest is and what they want to do in their life. At the same time, student advisors like my ISA, they would always step in if in case the student is feeling lost, not in just terms of adjustments, in terms of anything, whether it be time management, wealth management, or academics. You can like they can always reach out to the ISAs for even a minute and the silliest thing they feel like insecure of, and they would always be there to help you. So they always help. Yeah.
Right. So, and what about the placement or internship opportunities? A lot of universities, give you aid in finding placements or maybe internships after completing your studies.
Yes, great question. The first and foremost thing, again, networking, right?
Right.
Networking is the answer to all everything related to placements and jobs and everything. That's the baseline. Secondly, yes, the faculty and everyone would help you get a job as well. So in India, we have placement cells, wala concept. In the US, we don't have that. So what happens is we have career fairs, and companies, big companies like Qualcomm and Nvidia would be coming on campus. They would be having a table and they would be talking with students. Okay, that's how you get to network with each other, and that's often they'll be saying, "Ki, okay, we are hiring. We find you as a good fit. You can apply, and then I'll put a recommendation." And I believe you as well might know ki how important a letter of recommendation of a value it holds, right?
Right.
The bigger the name, the bigger the chances of you getting approved.
Right.
So that plays an important role as well. Plus, at the same time, big companies, again naming Qualcomm, they have the headquarters in San Diego. So if you don't know what Qualcomm is, they make those Android ki Snapdragon wale chipsets, right? So that, and they have headquarters. So what happens is every annual year they
Right.
will be having their board of executives come to our campus
Oh.
and host like a networking event. So any student who has RSVP'd, who has signed up, can go to that event, have some free food, of course, and network with people, and eventually land a job. I remember a friend who had it's the same thing with professors. You talk with your professors because oftentimes they are someone who are already retired from the same field as yourself, right? That's why they're teaching.
Right.
So I know a friend. He graduated last fall. He had a summer internship at Amazon, and he landed that job through talking to his one of his CS professors, because he was initially working there. The professor is almost 65 years old, so he's retired from that place, but he knew the people, so he put a recommendation, and he got an internship. And then from there, since he had enough skill set and a strong network, he converted that internship into a full-time job.
Oh, that's so amazing.
Right, so even before he graduated, he had a job offer from Amazon headquarters in Seattle. So I would say it's not tough, it's just that you have to be rigid in what you're doing and consistent with developing the skill sets.
Right. Totally agree.
Yes.
Also, living independently in a completely different city is like a very overwhelming experience.
True.
And since managing your own stuff and finances, so how do you manage it?
Great question. I'll come to the finances later. Let's talk about independent living.
Yeah.
See, homesickness is a very big issue, a challenge for a lot of students, because you're going in a foreign state, घर से अलग, मम्मी पापा है नहीं, भाई बहन है नहीं, there are no friends. I believe it can be an issue, but it all depends on an individual कि उसको issue कब तक रखना है as an issue. I had the same issue. I had the same problem. Despite going with a friend, I had the same problem of homesickness. I miss my family a lot. But now I can proudly say that I've made friends which are so close to me. They're almost like my second family. Like even right now, whenever I'm talking about them, I miss them.
Right.
So they have become pretty close to me. So like I said, it all depends on you, because ultimately comfort zone के बाहर तो जाना ही है. अभी US जाने का सोच ही लिया है. So you have decided to step outside your comfort zone. It all depends on you कि कब जाना है, right? So,
And what was your parents' reaction?
oh, great question. My dad agreed. He said कि अगर तेरे को life में grow करना है, like he asked me first कि why US? Like he said कि give me a valid reasons, and he said give me 3 valid reasons and I'll let you go. Okay, so I go like, first of all, Papa, global perspective कि like
Right.
there's a lot of diversity there and I can grow globally. And second, I said कि he himself knows कि CS का market and IT market in the US is very booming. It's still in demand. And there's still competition, but not as crazy or wild as India, right? So he knows that. And then the third was very simple कि like, Papa, come on, it's the US. It's the simple statement कि like it's the US, it's the land of opportunities. So he said, okay.
The name itself is enough.
Yes.
Right.
It holds a value. So he's like, okay, fine, take your life में grow करना है, whatever you want to do, I'm here, I'm supporting you. My mom's being mom, the first question was like, तू घर से इतना दूर क्यों जा रहा है, तू खाएगा क्या? right?
खाएगा क्या? That's the
हाँ
most important question.
हाँ, मतलब ठीक है, पढ़ाई, ही शी लिटरली सेड दैट कि ठीक है, स्टडीज तो होती रहेंगी, तू खाएगा क्या? Then my friend and me, we had already planned this. So my mom knows my friend, and then I said कि हाँ, I have my own chef with me. So she goes like, अच्छा हाँ तो ठीक है. So it took me a bit convincing to convince my mom, but eventually they were both in agreement कि like हाँ ठीक है, if he wants to go, let him go.
That's great. So,
क्योंकि yeah.
like, do you think studying abroad has prepared you better for future?
I would say yes. I mean, I'm still learning, right? I've just finished my first year, so there are 3 more years to go for me. But I believe I have still learned a lot, because if that were not true, I wouldn't be even here, right?
Right.
So I'm still learning. Public speaking is one of the soft skills I'm still learning, right? And I still feel stage fright when I'm speaking to a mass, so that's something I'm still working on. Being formal in terms of communications and sending emails and everything, I'm trying that. Learning a lot of core skills like C++ and all those kind of stuff, working on projects. So I believe yes, I am ready, but I'm still not ready, so in between.
Right, that's so amazing. So you're learning all this because you went out of your comfort zone. So that's
Yes.
very important, right? And that's
Yes.
what that's the message we would like to give to the audience as well, that come out of your comfort zone, explore
Yes.
the world,
Yes.
explore the opportunities if you want to
Exactly.
learn.
Yeah, it's always about leaving the comfort zone. It's because I remember one of the key speakers. I attended this club event, and a key speaker was there, and the line he said was, find comfort outside of your comfort zone.
Right.
So that's something that I
True.
can relate with. Yeah.
So generally universities have a very vibrant campus life. They have a lot of clubs and sports. So have you joined any kind of clubs or extracurricular activity which has advanced your skills?
Of course, yes. I was the vice president of this club called the MIS Society during my first semester. So MIS, a lot of you guys might not know. Even you might not know what it is. It's a major. It's like CS,
Okay.
but it's more focused on management side. So
Oh.
tools like MySQL or Power BI and Tally,
Right.
all those kind of things which are used for management from a business perspective, they teach you on how to use that and all those things. So I was the VP of that club, and that's exactly when I said about the speaking and event part. That's exactly how I met that speaker, because he had come to our event as a guest speaker. And when I said about Qualcomm, I had an opportunity to go and visit the company headquarters on a company visit
That's so
from
great.
this club. Currently, I am the vice president of Global Connections. So, Global Connections is a club that like I said, my job states make sure students feel home, right?
Right.
Global Connections does the same thing. We try our best to make sure the students are feeling connected and that home like feeling. It's just that a lot of times students often feel scared कि ISA को कुछ बोलूंगा या बोलूंगी तो they might judge or I might be in trouble or something. So we try to not be the authority figure. We rather try to be the best of friends that they can have. So we have gatherings, we have dinners, we have lunches, we go out on outings, hikings and everything. So
That's so
yes.
great. A lot of opportunities of networking, I guess.
Yes, yeah.
So what are your plans after graduation? Do you plan to stay in US or do you want to come to India back and
I mean, I'll be very blunt and honest. A lot of people are right now who are watching might not have any intentions of coming back, right?
right.
Neither do I, because I feel like since I have had that taste of the market there, it will be hard for me to settle here for less. Of course, if the opportunity is better, I would not compromise. It all depends on where I see myself growing. I believe highly that it would be the US as a priority. If I see opportunities there, it would be, and if not, then whatever the future holds for me.
Right, growth is
Yes.
important, very
True.
important. So if you could give a one bit of advice to the students who are planning or maybe thinking of studying in USA, what would it be?
I would say कि go for it. If you're still confused कि बाहर जाओ नहीं जाओ, would still go for it, because that's an opportunity for you to step outside your comfort zone.
Right.
Stepping out your comfort zone is something that even you might agree कि हाँ, it's a very big step, right? You grow a lot as a human. Second would be, if you're already there, go out in the market, network with people, talk with people. Even if you don't feel or match, like find the vibes, it's fine. You can just not talk with them again and find new people to talk with, right?
Right.
It's all about finding vibes in the modern terms. Sometimes they might be your best of friends, sometimes they might not be. But one thing for sure is you will get a lot of experience. Every time I see something happen with me, the first thing I say is, theek hai, it's just an experience.
Right.
So Yeah, that's all I have to say for the students.
A lot of people have misconceptions, actually बहुत सारे misconceptions होते हैं about studying abroad. So did you have any kind of misconceptions about studying abroad जो वहाँ पे जाके बिल्कुल completely लगा कि ये तो ऐसा तो कुछ होता ही नहीं है, this is completely different?
I would say something I've heard is very common, that's racism. कि like
Right.
Indians के साथ बहुत ज़्यादा racism होता है and everything. I can say that I have not experienced it. In fact, San Marcos, our campus has proudly boasted that कि we have no racism, right? Because everyone is so diverse, so unique कि कौन किसके साथ क्या ही बोलेगा, right? So there is no racism. In fact, San Marcos has no crime rate, like I said.
Yeah.
So I've also had heard कि हाँ US में gun culture is very common. You fight with someone, they'll just take out their gun and do things. But that is something I have not experienced yet, luckily. So yes, those are
That's
some.
good. That's
Yes.
glad to hear.
Mhm.
And since you're living in US for like a year, right?
Yes.
So tell us a funny story you experienced while living there throughout the any kind of funny story which you think might be a lesson for our viewers.
A funny story, yes. I was learning how to drive. My roommate, first semester, he was teaching me how to drive. Irrelevant of this, off topic जा रहा हूँ. He taught me how to drive in his Mustang. So for all you car viewers like that right out there, it's a big deal. So he taught me how to drive, and I'm used to driving in India, right? The honking culture,
Right.
horn marna har turn pe. And I was doing the same thing. I honked for first, and my roommate, he was sitting right there on the other side, and he's like, "Dude, what are you doing? Like, what? You're doing a crime." So I go like, "What? Why? I just honked because I'm taking a turn. I don't want to be like in a trouble." So he's like, "No, you don't honk in the US unless it's very extremely urgent or emergency wala case. Because if you do honking for useless measures, you might be in trouble." So that's something. Also, when I was learning, it's the opposite side, right? So the indicators in India are on the right side,
Right.
and in the US it's on the left side. So I was
Oh.
taking a turn, and instead of turning on the indicators, I turned on the wipers.
Oh.
And that was such a funny moment for me. Me and my friend, we were like standing in that middle of the private road, and we were laughing so hard. So yeah, fun stories.
As we are stepping into the new year, so tell us about the job market in the USA. What are the opportunities? What's the trend there?
Great question. About the trend, I believe it's still technology. Hannah, come on, we have become digitalized. Even this is so also digital, right? So
Right.
everything is going digital. People are themselves making themselves go digital. Work from home, hybrid work have become a thing. Market is still out there, open. Competition hai, but then again at the same time, I believe हर market में रहता है वो, right?
True.
It all depends on what you have to offer on the table.
Right.
As long as you have enough skill set and enough big of a network, you can easily land a job, and it's not a big deal for you. Like I said about my friend, the Amazon guy, he is a very introverted guy, but he had the required core skills, so he's got a job,
Right.
right? At the same time, I'm building those skills to eventually learn an internship, to earn an internship, and then convert it into a full-time job. So yes, it's competitive, but yes, at the same time, you have a big chance.
Right, that's so amazing. So thank you so much, Richik, for taking your time
Of course.
and having this insightful
Right.
conversation with us. I am sure it's going to inspire and help a lot of students, because a lot of them are very confused
Mhm.
and don't know how to start their study abroad journey.
Yeah.
So since it's coming out from you, it's you shared your
Yeah.
real life experiences. It's going to help them a lot.
Of course.
And it was lovely talking to you.
Of course.
And thank you so much again for joining us today for our podcast.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I hope I wasn't a big trouble.
No, you were
course.
lovely. Amazing.
Thank you.
And for our viewers, if you guys have any kind of question or want to start your study abroad journey, feel free to reach out to AECC. We are here to help and happy to help. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more such videos.